Once upon a time, two retired teachers decided to convert their garage into a pottery studio. Along with their daughter and son, they built a business around the idea that the world could use a little more art and a lot more artists. We're the Kaya family. Welcome to Walky Pots. Hi everybody, how you doing? How you been? How are things? Shane and Diana here with coffee time number 64 at Walky Pots Studio. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today is Tuesday, and we're filming this a little bit late, so apologies for that, but we have had a very busy and fun day today.
We sure have. We went fishing today.
We went fishing. We didn't go catching, but we went fishing.
Well, Christopher did get a bluegill.
Christopher did get one fish. Yep.
Yes, and I saw a fish. Also saw a turtle. So.
Yeah, we did. Let's just say we're having burritos tonight for supper. All right. So what are we going to talk about this week?
Well, we're going to start with one of the reasons coffee time's a little late is because we've had the kiln going for a bisque load. And of course, when the kiln is going for a bisque load, the EnviroVent is running and it's super loud. So all you would have heard was this droning motor noise. And so that put us off a little bit. And
so anyway, we're here now and we have a few things to talk to you guys about.
Yes. Last week was our last art class with a group of homeschool students, and we'd considered doing one more set, but it's just not going to work out. So I had to send a message and let everybody know that wouldn't be starting back up until the fall. So I've done that, though. I've let everyone know, so that's a good thing. Last week we also finished glazing.
Right, we had a glaze unload video. If you didn't get a chance to see that, do check it out. Some really unique and different things came out of that load just a few days ago.
Yes, and in fact, we have some of those pieces on our table, and these are our favorites.
Right, we've got some things to talk about with those.
Yeah, so you want to talk about
Sure,
those?
I'll mention a couple of things. The first thing I want to mention is, and don't worry, we will show closer pictures. The first thing I want to mention is this one small bowl that I did. I made this on the wheel with the intention of this becoming a heart bowl, and I'll tell you about the heart bowl in just one second. But I let it get too dry, and I wasn't able to form it into the shape of a heart. But this glaze combo is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Now, do you remember what the glaze is?
I sure do. This part that you see here and on the inside here is Amico's river birch. And then on top of the river birch, I have layered Mako's cinnabar.
And that is on our Sheltowy Brown clay, fired at cone 6, and I love it. It's such a nice little bowl. So this is one of my favorite things because of the glaze combo. And then also, another one of my favorite things is the heart bowl that one would have become. I love the shape of this. And again, it's on our Sheltowy Brown clay, but this was super easy to make. And I was shocked to find out that it was very easy to trim even after being formed into the heart shape because it still sits flat on the bat, and I was able to trim the bottom with no problems or issues. That turned out spectacular. I love that.
You need to make some more of those.
I definitely need to make more of those.
On this one, we have a combination of glazes. It is Amico's Golden Honey, and then Mako's Amaryllis.
Well, I love it. I think it's a great shape and it's a great size. And that was the second of my favorite things to come out of the last glaze load. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is this fantastic mug. I love this. It's a great shape. It's a great size. And Diana did her, what do we call that? That technique. It's a variation of technique you used before. What did you use for the spots on this?
I used running hot chowder for the spots.
I thought that was it, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. Running hot chowder.
Good. I like the fact that some of these, ended up looking like hearts.
Right. If you look at it close, I'm not sure if we can show a close enough picture, but some of them...
right up here, that blue one there, too.
Some of the spots look like hearts.
Yes.
This turned out really, really well. Yes. And I would call this right now one of the best cups that I've made. I love it.
And these are Spectrum's glazes. It is tapenade on the bottom, overlapped by ginger, overlapped by Louisiana Bayou, and it's Louisiana Bayou on the inside.
So these were the 3 favorites from the last kiln load of glazed stuff that we did.
And they were your 3 favorites, although I almost selected that one for myself.
For your favorite, right?
I did, but I got a similar one, but not exact, folks. This one you threw, and so it is on the Sheltoe, because of course that's your favorite.
What would you call that vessel? What?
I would say this is a vase, but I'm also looking at it thinking, it would make a nice crock for in the kitchen too. Maybe. So we've had this discussion before. The difference between a vase and a vase is where you put the decimal point when you price it. So right now I'm thinking this is a vase, probably, but it might be a vase. It could also be where you're from. It could be where you're from too. But that turned out really well. I love the and again, these ones, this is River Birch, Louisiana Bayou, and then it is Fuzzy Peach.
Oh, Fuzzy Peach, because we got a little bit of that peach.
Yes, and I totally lost the Fuzzy Peach, I thought, but you actually can see it a little bit on the inside, and on some of the smaller ones it showed up better. Now, that's just one of your 3 favorite pieces. Your other 2 pieces are pretty small. What are they? Yes. I think it was Connie who, I think these are her favorites too. I think it was. It's a matched set, you guys. I did the mushrooms and the gnomes in matching sets, and I just thought they were so cute. But it's the amaryllis. I really absolutely love the way the amaryllis turned out on the white Iceman from Kentucky Mudworks. It really, really shows up well. Anyway, it looks really great. Previously, I had used it on standard 112, and I really didn't look as great on that. You lost a lot of the modeling from it on the 112. So, but anyway, those are my 3. So. All right, so those are our favorites from the last glaze load, but we've been busy working too, doing stuff. You want to go first, or you want me to? Well, you know what? I think I'll go first. Okay, Diana's going to go first, you guys. Yes. You know, we've been busy with the 3D printing thing. She has been working circles around me with that 3D printer. She's been making stuff, and she's been making 3 or 4 things to my one thing on that 3D printer. I keep it busy, and I keep it going. And in fact, one time, wait till you see this one, guys. We ran out of filament halfway through a print. I had started it before we went to bed. When we got up the next morning, we looked, and the printer had stopped right here on the screen. It was politely waiting to be fed with more filament. Yes, and it said it needed more filament. And of course, the next color we had. We didn't have green anymore, that glow in the dark green. So it's hey, it's a work of art. It's itself, party colored. But folks, it's blueberries. I had drawn blueberries, and I worked on it until I could get it so that it would be repeatable, so it didn't not line up or have weird things. And the coolest part is now she has a cup made with that. I do. Look at this lovely cup, guys. There it is. And don't worry, you'll see closer pictures. Yes, but it's got the texture on the wall of the thing. And then I was so excited. I went ahead and I hand sculpted some little blueberries and blueberry leaves for the thing. I'd also had thought about doing a little badge of a bigger blueberry. And remember, I printed one out, but then when I put it in clay, it didn't look so great. I'll show a picture of that, in fact, because I think I have it over there still. But I'm going to try to reverse the image so that the clay stands up. Right, that's rather the blueberry pushed in. Rather than being impressed into the clay, the blueberry image will be raised up from the clay. Right, and so if that happens, then there'll be another blueberry cup with that. But that one, we'll call that one finished right now. Yes. Oh, it is. It is. And you have a matching plate for it? Yes. Very nice. Matching plate. I'm so excited. Yes. And then, of course, this other one that's so big, and I know technically they usually are about this size, but you know what? When you're making it yourself, you can do anything you so choose. Mm-hmm. So I did not want anything repeating. I only wanted 3 chickens.
And Diana drew those chickens herself, you guys. She did a great job.
They're our daughter's chickens. Mm-hmm. When we went over to scoop poop from the horse pen, I took pictures of the chickens while we were there. And this is their rooster and some of the hens. This is one of her little golden ones. And so I took pictures, and then I used the photos, and I came up with this drawing. And so we have a chicken mug.
And I love the expressions on these chickens' faces. It's fantastic.
He is so in charge.
Yep, the rooster is in charge. And this is kind of opening a door for us with doing custom pictures for people. Who knows? We'll see. And that you've got the matching plate to go.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I do have one more, and I didn't bring the roller over here. I think I may have shared this roller another time.
Those are piping plovers.
Yes, piping plovers, because in our area, if you go to the beach, Assateague Beach, you will often see piping plovers as they are going along the ocean beach line. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they even close off parts of the beach because they're nesting.
So Diana's had a great time drawing these pictures herself and then turning them into images that can be imprinted on her hand-built mug.
Very excited.
Very, very cool.
But you've been very busy too.
Well, I don't know about very busy, but I've been a little bit busy.
Well,
so what you see here is the results of me attempting to do some throwing off the hump. And the idea was for me to make shot glasses, and they turned out okay. I'm not displeased with them. In fact, I really thought I'd have more failures than I did. These all turned out. It's 11 of them that I made. Diana made a couple too. Here's one of hers.
I made 4, and there's the one.
We have yet to trim the others. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Well, one of them didn't make it because it went sailing through the air as I went to trim it.
Yeah, she had it in the Giffen grip to trim, and she pushed a little too hard on one side, and it flipped out of it. And I didn't see it, but apparently it was quite dramatic.
It was very dramatic, and enough that I'm like,
just probably very nerve-wracking. Anyway, so after I did the shot glasses, I put 10 pounds of clay on the wheel, but I was getting tired of doing shot glasses. So I decided to make one giant shot glass. And that's this great big huge shot glass here that turned out quite good, actually. I think that's going to be a keeper. I was actually contemplating putting a handle on it, making a giant mug, but nobody seems to like our giant mugs, so we don't sell those. But that will finish up the 10 pounds. Now, I did have a couple of failures that failed on the wheel. Didn't even try to trim them. I just threw them in the reclaim bucket. But that was fun. And I think we're going to try to do throwing off the hump at least once per week, because it is definitely a skill that we need to have, especially if we're making smaller items. I think we had talked about doing teacups, because this is almost teacup size, almost. And maybe we could throw a set of teacups off the hump sometime.
You can tell we didn't talk about this before we got started today, because you don't know this, but I have planned for the week.
Oh, for the week ahead?
Yes.
She's got us planned, you guys.
We're throwing off the hump 4 times this week, not once.
4 times? She's trying to kill me.
Well, you said it yourself. We need to do a little bit often so that we get better at it.
Okay, I'm not doing 10 pounds, though. I'll put 5 pounds.
Yes.
Try that.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we've done the little condiment dishes, and now we've done the shot glasses, which that was definitely a different skill set, I thought, because trying to get it to come up instead of just out.
Right.
We also want to do the teacups. We also want to do some larger bowl type things to go up to hold things. Food prep.
Well, so that's a thing we should do.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, this is what happens when I do all the planning. But I'm letting you know now.
Well, I appreciate the heads up.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, it's going to be a great week coming up.
And then, also, this past Sunday, you went to the Clay Guild meeting.
Right. Went to the Clay Guild meeting. Had a great meeting with some other clay enthusiasts. and they're planning for this year's Clayapalooza, which I don't think we're going to be participating as much as we did last year. I think that it taxed our time and resources too strongly last year. So this year we're reeling it in just a little bit. We won't be setting up with a booth, and that's going to simplify things. It happens over the course of a weekend, and the Saturday that it will be happening is going to be one of the bigger days that we are spending at the Shinkigawan Farmers and Artisans Market. So we couldn't really split our resources very well.
But you didn't mention something that where you have gotten us into.
Well, you're not committed to do it. Yeah. I'm committed to do it, but you're not committed yet. I didn't promise that you would do it. They're going to do a throwdown challenge on the Friday opening night of Clayapalooza. Yeah. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll sit down, we'll have fun, and we'll make fun of our work, and it'll be
Do I get a glass of wine?
I don't know. I
could probably do it with a glass of wine, because you did say something about there's a blindfold challenge.
Yeah, we probably should try to throw things off the wheel blindfolded, which I don't think that's going to be as difficult as. And
then there's an off the hump. And then there was something else.
I don't remember what the third one is, yes. But it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm still relatively new at wheel throwing. I love all my hand building, but I am getting better with the wheel throwing. So I don't know. That's a big leap for me.
I told Patricia and everybody else there that I would see if you wanted to, but I couldn't commit you to doing it.
Yes,
but
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We got a couple months to think about it.
Yes, I got to get a little better. So
no matter what, it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
All right. So what else?
We had a question. In fact, just 9 hours ago.
9 hours ago.
Brenda asked on our last kiln unload video about did we have any problems with crazing on our Kentucky Mudworks Iceman clay. She named whatever clay she was using that was a white clay, and she was getting crazing on it. And so I wanted to answer that for anybody who's watching and is interested in maybe the Iceman clay. Since I've been using it, which, it is, 50 pounds into
about
it
50
now?
Pounds
about 50
into
pounds into it. Every piece that I have glazed so far, with the assortment of glazes that I use, everything has performed very well on it. And in fact, I have gotten way better results with it than I did with the standard 112.
We had problems with pocks and pitting with that.
And that was more or less, I guess, from the off-gassing of different things.
Now, specifically the problem we're talking about now is crazing. If you don't know what crazing is very fine spiderweb looking cracks that show up in a piece of pottery, often the result of a bad fit between the glaze and the clay body. If the glaze and the clay body shrink at different rates, it causes great pressure, and that often leads to what we call crazing, these very fine spidery looking cracks that we don't like at all.
No, because there are issues with, over years of use, is a piece still going to be food safe years and years from now? I do know that many folks have no problem if there's crazing on the outside of a piece, so long as it's not on the inside. I personally, just don't want any crazing whatsoever.
As a general rule, if we have a piece that exhibits crazing, we don't sell that.
We don't put it on the table. I may end up using something, but generally I don't use it for food.
We have some little bowls and things that we use here in the studio for mixing slip and things like that.
Yes.
We don't care if those things have these little cracks.
But Brenda, I really do like the Iceman. It is different than the clay I was used to, so there have been some issues for me getting used to the fact that when I roll it out, it seems to get fine little cracks when I am rolling it, and yet it feels very wet. But what I found is just a damp sponge, and I just rub it rub over the surface with a damp sponge and then continue rolling out, and they go away. Also, like when I form my plates, that's another time when I can get some of those fine lines. Well, not a hair, but
dog hair. It's a dog hair.
fine lines. And so what I do with that is I take my small little Mud Tools red rib and I pull the clay up over the edge and then also take a smooth sponge. So it's a little bit different than what I was used to working with, but I really like it, and I love the way the glazes are looking on it.
And
very bright and crisp.
And there's no grog.
No, but yet it holds its shape very well. You can get it with a grog in it.
We just haven't tried that. I have yet to put it on the wheel and throw with it on the wheel. I do need to try that. We don't have a lot to just kind of play around with those, so we might wait till we get more before I put it on the wheel. And
I do know that there used to be an issue with it crazing, but I'm trying to think what year it was reformulated. It's not been that long, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, that the company reformulated it to make it a better fit for the glaze manufacturers that, are the big guys that are used often.
And for reference, we fire at cone 6, so the results could vary depending on whether you are also firing at cone 6 or a different temperature. And also, the glazes we use are predominantly Amico and Mako. We also have
Spectrum now.
We also have some Spectrum glazes, and we haven't seen any problems with the glazes that we're using right now. The
Spectrum, I will say, does beautiful on it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, we love it because it's white and bright, and it shows all those colors.
And we needed that.
Yep.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah, hopefully that answered the question. That was a good question.
I definitely give it a try. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, on to this week. I've already told you about the throwing up.
About the throwing. Yeah, that's news to me, but that's okay.
Let's see what we can put on this table next weekend.
Okay. Is it a challenge? Like, who
yes,
can
like
put...
I said, it's a challenge.
No, I mean, like, which of us can put the most pieces on the table challenge? Or is that the kind of challenge you want to do? Or because I got to say, I'm going to try. I'll try.
Yes, no. There is no challenge when it comes to wheel throwing. I could challenge you with my hand building versus the wheel throwing and actually come a little bit close.
Maybe.
Because I'm pretty, I've done that so much.
I slap the things out a lot faster than I used to on the wheel.
You do. Well, I think it's one of those things that we've built in this like muscle memory, and anytime you do something again and again and again, you naturally get faster and you get better, more refined, and I'm looking forward to the day that I do get more refined and better in my wheel throwing. But we have other things we're making too.
Oh, well, okay, so now I got to ask, what else are we making?
Yes, okay, we have double yarn bowls to make this week.
Oh, yeah, so I put one of my yarn bowls up behind me. I don't know if you can see it or not. But somebody gave us the idea of making double yarn bowls, which is just like it sounds. 2 yarn bowls fused in the middle with a handle so you can pick it up and carry it.
Yes.
That'll be fun. And you know how I love making yarn bowls anyway, and we need to. So
yes, and I may even try to do some myself too, because I've got to broaden my skills.
Yeah, make some 2-pound bowls and slap them together.
Yes.
We can do it.
And then you've got to continue. This will be him. This is not me. The double batch bread bowls.
Right.
Yes, got to get closer to that.
Yeah,
so.
I've been doing fairly well. In fact, we have some large-ish bowls in the kiln right now that have been bisque flared. And we'll see how close we're getting as far as the weight and the feel of them. I am definitely sneaking up on the really large bowls made out of the shell-toey brown. It's tough, and I've talked about it before, but I really have to count on trimming a lot of this away because the clay is so flexible. I can't make it as thin as I want on the wheel without it collapsing. I will have to trim it.
I do want you to try the shell-toey because I want to know what you think in comparison. Are you able to get things thinner with that?
Do you mean the Iceman?
You said shell-toey. Yes,
I should try. We have enough that I can.
Yeah, I do. I want you to try that. Try doing one of those yarn bowls this week, even. With that, because I'm curious about that, because when I did the shot glasses, I felt like I probably could have gone in more than I did. And I think you'd be able to versus me.
Well, let's try it.
So
we'll throw it on the wheel and we're going to give it a try.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty. And then the other thing I have in the works for us is
something else? Are you kidding me? She's trying to kill me.
A thorough cleaning and a purge.
My asthma won't allow me to thoroughly clean. I'm sorry.
And a purge. You'll notice I said of the studio.
That means I got to get rid of my stuff. Holy cow! How am I going to part with my stuff?
Much stuff in here, and some of it does not belong in here.
That's not true at all. My night helmet back there definitely belongs.
And I cannot seem to find some of my things anymore.
Did you look under the knight's helmet?
No.
Maybe we don't need everything in here that we have in here.
We do. It's, every time whenever you do something and you're working in it and stuff, inevitably we lay things to the side, and sometimes it gets put back and sometimes it doesn't.
You guys don't know it, but that wheel that I'm working on is here in the studio and it's huge. That old kick wheel that I'm working on.
Well,
I gotta finish that.
The weather is now good, so you can now take it back outside and use the chemicals that we didn't want to use inside.
Yeah, we got to get that up and running and functioning and all jazz.
Yes, and we have to remember that when I do go to throw on the wheel, that I am no longer allowed to slap.
Oh man, guys, she was beating the devil out of that wheel trying to get the splash pan in.
I'll show
She bruised her hand, you guys, because she was smacking the wheel.
I could not get the splash pan back on the Viver.
I don't know how you expect it to treat you right if you're going to abuse it like that.
Well, you put it on, it goes on perfect. I go to put it on, I'm sitting there, I tried, and then finally went, bam!
I don't smack it.
And then I looked, and I broke a blood vessel.
Serves you right.
And it's still warm to the touch and swollen.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you did that.
Anyway, and the only other thing we have this coming week is we need to start getting our things around for the event that's this month, which is Revenge of the Stitch.
Right, that'll be a big market for us. We did order our new table covers, so we're going to have 2 matching Walky Pots table covers. I don't know if they'll be in by that event or not, but they've been ordered. And we need to reevaluate our canopy situation. I think we're going to be fine, just with some light repairs.
But we have to check all of our bottoms to see what bottoms need to be sanded, and we have to start pricing things because we don't want it to be the night before and be doing all of that then.
Right, that is no fun. But you're right, that's the thing we have to do.
Yes.
Our goal is to get ahead of the game a little bit this season, and I think if we really push, I think we are going to be ahead of the game. But unfortunately, dropping that one class is a consequence of us trying to get ahead a little bit more for the market season. And it's not so much that one day missing in the studio as it is having to schedule the firings around that one day. Because one day doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're talking about multiple days with the kiln running, then it's
because maybe we wanted to start the kiln the day before or even the day before that, and we're like, oh wait a minute, it's still going to be a little too hot to have little ones in here. And
for example, the kiln is filled right now with bisqueware. We really need to turn around in the next couple of days and get a glaze load in if we can. We really do.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
we need to
I'm
try.
going to get started. And when behind the camera right now, guys, on the back wall is a 5-tier shelf, and if we have 4 of those 5 tiers full of glazeware, we know we have got a kiln load.
Right.
So at least we're finding out things like that as we go along.
And thankfully we have stepped up our speed a little bit, so we're faster at cracking out the pottery than we were at this time last year. And that's going to be an advantage, and we know what to expect a little bit more. We're not going to be as surprised by the markets as we were last year.
Yep. So that is all that I have for next week.
Okay, well, I can't think of anything else I'm going to do other than work my fingers to the bone, throwing off the hump. But that's okay because.
But I'm going to try it too.
We gotta do it.
I won't get as many pieces as you, but I'm going to get some each time.
You will get more than you got last time.
That's right.
That's the whole thing.
That's right.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else to talk about, happy April, everybody, because it's April 1st now. It is April Fool's Day today, and I didn't pull any big pranks because, honestly, after teaching in public schools for 25 years, April Fool's Day becomes less and less a holiday and more of a thing that you try to avoid. I think I maybe even called in sick a couple of those April 1sts in the last couple of decades.
But we went fishing.
That's right. We did go fishing today.
And you remember the saying, April showers bring May flowers. So we're getting our garden started and all that good kind of stuff.
Spring is in the air.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We are trying to climb to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not given us a like and subscribe yet, please do that. It does help us out a lot. Or rather, it potentially will help us out a lot. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Okay. Are we good? All right. Toodaloo, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you later. Have a fantastic day no matter where you're at. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.